You can hear me all right, right? All right, and we're live, everybody. But this is not working. No.
Are we live?
Yeah, something ain't right. I just got to figure out what it is. All right, we are live, everybody. Hey, how's everybody doing? Loud and clear. All right. Hey, Lisa. Why is that not working?
What's not working, Michael?
Yeah, when I play something. Give me 1 second. Yeah, that would be why.
Okay.
All
Hi,
right, here we go.
Cowlazars,
That's what I was trying to do.
Cowlazars, Cowlazars, Cowlazars. Cowlazars, Cowlazars. Come on, let's have some adventures. We'll spend days, we'll spend weeks, we'll spend months working our way through treasure hunts. Cowlazars, 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 Cowlazars. Mike drinks coffee a ton, feel free to send him some. Cowlazars, 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 Cowlazars. Watch Mike once, you'll want to watch him again. James Frey once called him to talk Forrest Found. Cowlazars, you cannot go wrong. You could even say bovine photons. Now let's get going on the double. Let's talk treasure hunts. Let's talk puzzles. Cowlazars, 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 Cowlazars.
All right, everybody. And we are live. Today's Thursday,
live.
July 9th. Coffee with Kpro and Cow. Although I don't have coffee. That's okay.
That's okay.
How's
That
it
happens.
doing? Should I send it to Forrest?
Sure. Why not?
Weigh in. And weigh in his own way. I did not see the Expedition Unknown. Did you? I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, actually, I didn't have to watch it because somebody actually
Well, it's
put
on
the clip.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
But I haven't watched it on Facebook, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Is there anything new? Is there anything breaking news in it or no?
Yeah. Well, I think some of the internet went crazy, so I emailed Dale because Dale was interviewed in it, and Josh Gates asked him something like, what do you expect next, or what interesting information's coming? And he said, I had a really interesting post that someone has said, keep your blog open until August 4th. That's when information will come out. Dun, dun, dun. And so I emailed him because Dale was on Flipside, I think 2 nights ago.
Mhm.
So if he didn't mention it on Flipside for searchers, I'm thinking that it was probably a clip used to kind of drum up. That's what TV shows do. So Dale said that it was like the second or the third that he was interviewed for Expedition Unknown. So that means it's a nothing burger.
Chasing Indy says, Kpro, do you want to be on a podcast? She
Ooh.
posted she's going to do a podcast with somebody.
Okay, I will, and I already owed you a call from right before timing was challenging. I'll message you right after.
808 hard worker. I have 18 different interpretations of Homer Brown. So do I know what Forrest meant by it? No, I do not. Neither does anybody else, except the person who found it.
Yeah.
World famous gamer says for 10,000 subs, I'll give out all my solve except for the exact location. I'll give out the state though. I think you'll all be amazed at what I have. Well, me and Kpro, we're kind of over the solutions, guys. We still get emails. Somebody just emailed me 4 times just now. We're kind of over the solution because we want the solution. We want the correct solution. I'm tired. I don't want to guess anymore. We've been guessing for 10 years.
Yeah.
So when something about the real solution comes out and that can be verified in some way, shape, or form, we'll let you know.
Yep.
But what do we want to talk about tonight, Kpro?
Well, I think we do need to do an update. There is an update on the lawsuits. So I think we need to talk about that. And then I am a believer still. And somebody said, when is she going to finally like wise up that Forrest is gone forever? I don't think Forrest is gone forever. I think he is going to answer some questions. And I think what is the best way for him to know what kind of questions to answer than us to have a discussion about it? I do believe there's some things that are off limits, which is the finder's name, information, the final location, and the exact solve. But I think everything else we need to assume is on the table. So why don't we take a second and start thinking through what questions, if you were able to ask Forrest one question, what was the key word? What state was it in? I think he's going to do state. He's already said that.
And what was the subtle hint to throw the chase? What was the, the one subtle hint? What was the most important? I know you said a couple, but give me one. What was one subtle hint? And another one is, did the illustrations have anything to do with it? Be simple if we just said illustrations had zero to do with anything. I mean,
yeah. So let's first go over the update on the case. The Anderson case has taken an odd turn. So last we heard, this is the Chicago lawyer that says somebody was harassing her and was texting her, calling her something. And basically stole it before she could get there. She sued both Forrest and the unknown searcher since Forrest knows that information. The judge about 2 weeks ago responded and said, you need to kind of give us more detail. You have 21 days, give us more detail because this doesn't seem to have merit. This doesn't seem to have merit. We need more information here. I don't know all the legal jargon. I'm just giving you the info I have. And then she has submitted a response that she wants all the information to be private because she believes she's being harassed by a terrible community. The forums, the blogs, the YouTubers, she named some of us, Toby, Shelly, me, you, lots of others. And she feels like the community is not treating her with the, I don't know if it's respect. Oh, Chasing Indy was named too. That we're not giving her the respect she deserves, or I'm not sure exactly. I read through it. So she would like everything to go under like sealed as the lawsuit continues. I don't know. I don't know if that has merit, doesn't have merit. She wants to hold us to a journalistic level. I think Toby Eunice did a great response up on Thor and up on Chase Chat, and Chase Chat has lots of negative about her as well. Wasn't called out, which I thought was really interesting. So if you're a site that's like anti-Fen, then you don't get called out, but the other ones do. I thought that was interesting. So anyway, I still think she needs to focus on her actual response because it seems like time's getting pretty low that she better respond or her case is going to get thrown out before it even makes preliminary trial. So,
and I would just say this at the end of the program, we're going to talk about a brand new treasure hunt in the treasure hunting amusement park, something you guys have not heard of before. And I'm also going to give the solution to the grand adventure, which somebody did in fact win. So at the end of the show tonight, I'll do those two things. Super chat from 3D Bronze. You have to earn my respect. Add me to the list. And I will remind everybody, Super Chat's on if you guys want to donate to us for what we're doing here. We're taking time out of our day to give you guys the info of the treasure hunting amusement park. Also, and why do we do it? Because it's fun. And then also you can thumbs up the video and you can subscribe. Trying to get to 4,000 subscribers on the Cowlazars channel. It'll happen. It's just taking a while. That's all. So yeah, at the end, we'll talk about a new treasure hunt, Indiana. If you're in Indiana, you definitely want to pay attention. If you are within driving distance of Indiana, you definitely want to pay attention. Okay, sorry, kpro.
No, I can. That's as much attention as it deserves. So, so there's still 2 pending lawsuits. The Arizona and Chicago one, because I'm not sure they even deserve a name. And it sounds like both of them are getting close to us at least knowing. I believe that is what is determining why we're kind of on hold with Forrest giving us more information. Like he said, he was going to give us the state more information. So I think we need to talk about that because I believe we are at the point very soon within the next few weeks that we are going to get more information. And We are the trailblazers of this community where all of 155 of you want to ask one question. So I do want you to put at kpro if you want your question. And I don't care if she's watching. I do have to say, she puts her cell phone number up constantly on our channel. And I always delete it thinking this is why so many people know how to access you. Stop putting your personal information on our channels and stop contacting me. Like, I don't like, if I'm harassing you, go, stop contacting me, go away. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Okay, so let's see what some of the questions would be, because I have lots of opinions on this one. Let's see. How do you crack the poem? I like that from Holy. How? But don't you think, so let's talk about anybody that has interviewed Forrest or has seen questions asked before. What would his answer be? I think his answer absolutely would be, you follow the 9 clues in my poem precisely to the end of your rainbow. Don't you think?
Yeah, exactly. He's going to say you figure out what the clues refer to and you go, you walk it. You know, it's boots on the ground. It's got to be geographic locations, in my opinion.
Right. So we need to think like Forrest, because he's going to answer questions his way. I know what she's trying to ask is, how did one person finally crack it? What was it? How did it, you know, that sort of thing. So we need to be very clever with how that goes, how we put questions together. Let's see. Lisa.
Yes, no answers would be good. We can get them to answer some yes, no, you know.
Was there okay, now Diana asked, was there a toe-to-toe searcher? That's my one question. What do you mean by that? Toe-to-toe searcher.
Well, there were 2 people in a race. Was there 2 people that close to where, so it was just one got it right out from the other one, I think. Yeah.
Hi, Eleanor. I'm going through anywhere you put at kpro. Andy says yes. I don't know what you're saying yes to, but thank you. Got an email from a guy named Sean asking me to give him a book review for his new book on the solve. Do you know who this is? I do not.
Yeah, I don't either. I got an email about somebody that's coming out with a book, but it's not, I don't think that's who that is. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know who that is.
Chasing Indy said, I asked Finn where his home away from home was, and he said it was a 1-room cabin in West, probably West Yellowstone. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Super chat.
Oh.
Oh gosh. I'm not reading that. You can read that.
Nice. That's nice. Off the One says it was a toss up watching you and a TV show, and you won. And I've never seen that show, nor would I ever watch that TV.
Okay.
Okay. Says, do you think Forrest Fenn would mind if I called him again? Yeah, probably. I didn't get much time to talk last time because I think he was busy. But that's just it. Forrest is always busy. So I don't, in my opinion, I don't think Forrest wants searchers calling him on the phone, because guess what? He might not answer, guys. Somebody else at the house might answer. So I would not advise calling Forrest on the phone. What do you think, Christy?
No, I've called him once. I think I've called him once, and I want to make sure I'm not misspeaking, maybe twice in my many years over the years. And the last time was the night of him emailing a bunch of us that the hunt was over. So I just confirmed it. I wanted to hear it. A lot of people were like, no, there's something, Forrest must have passed, etc. So I jumped on the phone with him. Since then, I have not. So I say don't call him, but that's just me.
I can as a good one. This is for Forrest. Since you've done so much for us, what can I do for you? And that's 100% honest. That's actually kind of cool, right? What can we do as a thank you for Forrest? If he would answer that, say you could do this. I don't know what the answer is. He would have to answer that, but that would be a good one for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so here are some things that I think would be interesting to ask. If he were to answer anything, and I'm not saying he will, but if he were to answer anything, what pages had the intentional hints that you placed
deliberately placed
in TTOTC? Just give us the page.
Actually, not deliberately placed to aid the reader, but yeah, what was added that Forrest thinks was a subtle hint? That would be huge. Yeah. Why won't Forrest speak with his old searcher friends like yourself? Why are you assuming, Andy, that he doesn't speak with his old searcher friends? I don't know. I can't answer that. Only Forrest can answer
Yeah, I wouldn't assume that at all. I would say, why is he still talking to his searcher friends when the hunt's over? Because we're friends. Yeah. Anyway, so some other things. What was the type of person, not knowing, but can you, not revealing the person, what was the type of person that found this?
Oh, gotcha. What is the type of, yeah, was it a code breaker, Charlie? Was it somebody that's been 100 times boots on the
Right.
ground? Was it somebody that just studied it, figured it out, and went twice and found it? Yeah. Mr. Clue was in the house, and we had a Mr. Clue Zoom today. The Mr. Clue Zoom, for anybody that's interested, if you know who Mr. Clue is on YouTube, you should be subscribed. We're going to move it to Wednesday, I think 5 p.m. That's the hour before AGK goes on. I will send an email out to everybody on the list. But Mr. Clue says, this thing is going by too quick. Mr. Clue says, I suggest commissioning a statue of Forrest in Santa Fe.
I like that.
I like the idea of a statue or a plaque or something that is a reminder and commemorates the thrill of the chase. Now, I don't know if it has to be in Santa Fe, New Mexico or not. But,
Yeah.
but how do you go about doing that? Like for something to be in a park, don't you have to donate money to the city or something like that? I don't know. I don't know how it works. I just think it's a good idea.
I totally know how it works, and it could be fun.
It's doable, or is it a lot of money?
Yeah, but Santa Fe, you guys saw my Facebook post. Santa Fe is probably not the nicest place right now. New Mexico is a tough place to be. I think they're the most strict of the many states I've been in lately. So yeah, it's a little rough.
If there was ever a place that could be decided upon, and if there was like a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter to do that, but it would all have to be set up ahead of time. But yeah, that's an interesting idea. I don't know if anybody out there knows how to like cast in a plaque or bronze or something.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just
George Ward, I think, has a great question. I would still like to know what his favorite memory of the hunt is. Ooh,
Forrest.
I like that. Yeah. Oh, I love Susie's question. God, these are good. I'm glad we're doing this. I want to know if Eric Sloan had anything to do with the chest location. And I think you probably mean by that. So let's just pick it apart. Had you ever been there with him? Did you ever discuss it with him? Did it remind you of him? Was it something related to a shared experience that you had? Yeah.
mine did the omegas at the end of the darn books have anything to do with it? 1 omega, 2 omega, no omegas. Did that have anything to do with the solve? Was it a hint?
Yeah, the 1 omega, 2 omega. Yeah. Andy says he's not talking to kpro. Don't assume things just because someone lacks of information.
Andy, how would you know that? How do you know?
Yeah. Do you think Forrest is okay? 100%. I think Forrest is okay. Actually, I think he's probably better than okay. Even though I think he's probably sad that this is over, I think there's a huge set of relief. But my question, do you wish your parents had spelt your name Forrest instead of Forrest with 1 R or 2 R's?
All right.
Are you being funny? Are you being silly? Maybe. Okay. Holy reword it. Go ahead, Mike.
That Eric Sloan was a friend. Doug Preston was his friend. If Peggy made comments about Dale supposedly being a friend, do you think any of you, all caps, are his friend? You know what? I think there's friends, and I think there's searcher friends. And the only person, I mean, you can have your opinion, Tina, but the only person who can answer that is Forrest on who he considers a true friend, a real friend, a thrill of the chase friend, a searcher friend, you know, that kind of stuff.
Well, we've gone over this, Mike. You know that I've gotten burned by some searcher friends that I thought were friends that they weren't. But then, so Mike always says to me, like, searcher friends are not your friend. You need to realize, like, you're a little bit too trusting. And it's funny because I'm like, but Mike, that's how I met you. Are you a searcher friend? And he's like, no, I'm different.
It's different. If you've never met anybody in person, it's just somebody you either talk to even on the phone or just over the forums and all that. That's not a real friend. That's a searcher friend. That's an online friend. That's different. There are certain people in the chase community that have met Forrest on multiple occasions. And to me, I don't know why he's inviting you back if you haven't become friends. To me, that's a friend. But again, this is my opinion. That would be up to Forrest.
Right.
But you are entitled to your opinion, Tina. So
I like Holly's question. Okay, she said, second try. How did the finder use the hints to unlock the poem, to unlock the clues in the poem? What was the catalyst keyword? I love those. And I would divide those up into several questions because if he has a compound question, he'll only answer the part he likes. But Holly's like, I think Holly and I are totally on the same page. Yeah.
Super chat from William. Does the finder know why it's hidden there? In other words, when Forrest talked about the story in the interview, does the finder know what that is? Were there clues in the book that you were surprised that were found? That's a good point. Did the person who found it tell Forrest about any subtle hints?
And we'll be waiting for your call.
Nice.
You know what I'm
Chris.
saying?
That does not mean the phone lines are open, everybody. Yeah, Tina says, I respect that. Well, thanks. And I respect your opinion too, Tina.
Well, I saw that there's a little bit more to, I'm just getting to the comments. Yeah, I do think that there's levels of friends and levels of trust. You have your like family, you have your really close friends, you have search friends, and then you have acquaintances, etc. I do have to say, for me, this is for me, I think Forrest meant a lot more to me than I did to Forrest. And the reason for that is he had such an impact on my life. I think a lot of searchers had an impact, or he had an impact on my life. I think by knowing me, maybe he had a tiny little like, oh, she was interesting. I don't think it was the same level of impact because I had a lot going on in my life. He was really there for me in a special way. Right. I could never repay him for, if we have a friendship, he's given more to me than I've given to him outside of this hunt and the search and all of that. And so I don't know if that's a friendship. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the right terminology is. I just think he's a good human being, and I think he made me a better human being. So anyway, have you heard anything from Doug Preston? Brian, good question. No, I have not. I saw some of the things on Facebook. I've asked him a couple of things like, ooh, that picture you put up about near some canyon in Santa Fe. Tell me about that. And after the documentary quotes, did you want to say anything? And nothing, nada.
Okay. Super chat from 3D Bronze. It says, if only we knew a bronze guy. If anybody wants to look into that and 3D Bronze, you could, that's email me or kpro. I would be okay with kind of putting together a committee, try and figure that out. But some kind of, I don't know if it goes as far as a statue, but a plaque or something. I mean, I think that's,
well, he already has the day named after. I like the plaque idea personally, just because of him. Yeah.
Well, the thrill of chasing Forrest, I think, is a really cool idea. Let's talk about it, everybody. If anybody out there wants to volunteer their time to try and make it happen,
I can do the fundraising part.
That's what it's going to take. Let us know.
I have a background in fundraising, and so I could do the fundraising, and we would use the channels and all the channels and things.
Like a
and I could work
fundraiser of the searcher community, and all that money would go toward whatever it is. And if we could come up with something, that would really be great.
Yeah. Well, there is I think you know that. I don't know if I was there with you, Mike. I know I've been there with a few other searchers. There's a park down the street from his house.
Yeah.
These benches. Yeah. We could do something like that.
When we were there, what I said is each station should be one of the 9 clues. There should be a plaque. And once we know what the answer was, that would be the plaque when you know the solution to actually set. A lot of ideas. If you guys have an idea, email me.
Okay, Susie Fenhaven again. She's a smart lady. Who was the other person from the quote, "Two can keep a secret" quote? Oh, wouldn't that be awesome to know? Yeah.
Or did he just take it from Ben Franklin and he didn't mean anybody? I mean, is there some things he says that there's not a, this crazy meaning, double meaning in everything he says? I don't know.
Oh, Christy. Christy says, I'm friends with FF Heart. Yeah. So some of us feel that way, whether it's exactly right or not. I don't know. I think it's great to, if someone makes you feel special and good, why take that away from anybody? I feel special and good, and I feel like I'm a friend, and I hope he feels the same way. And if he didn't, I wouldn't be crushed, life-changing crushed, but I'd be like, oh, but I kind of know that. Anyway, let's not get all into, yeah.
Somebody asked, would Douglas Preston say, what was the one thing he saw in our interview? Right. I don't know if he would ever answer that, but I think it was that he finally, the word that's key is in the poem, would be my guess. But there were a couple things from that interview, S-Corp and a couple things Forrest said that I don't think he ever said before. Hopefully someday we know what all those things meant from the finder.
Did you already read William's super chat?
I did. Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm still catching up.
3D Bronze, yeah.
I like that. Like it says, you're my real friends and I'm going to stalk you forever. Okay. Ryan Matthews. Now that the search is over, do you plan on going back to your special place one more time? Ooh, that's a good question. I like that.
Randy Bishel says, I have a question for Forrest Fenn. Can I configure a secondary DNS and assign it as a primary to specific VLANs through DHCP to prevent name resolution across specific VLANs? That's more of a question for you, Randy, and the guys I deal with at work all the time.
I was going to say, that could be in Chinese and I would have understood it more. That's funny. People want to be friends. Yes, we're friends with all of you. Every single one
Earlier,
of you.
Randy, I don't know if you saw it, but Ryan earlier said if we did make a plaque for Forrest Found, then Randy would have to include it in his book as one of the plaques.
Ah,
Put it in his treasure hunt.
okay. Oh, just okay. I'd ask Forrest if he was surprised how quickly searchers turned on him after the chest was found. Ooh, Outcast Searcher. That's an interesting question indeed. Lori Barnes is here. Hello. Oh, Mr. Clue. I owe Forrest for making me lose 15 pounds searching for the treasure. I lost 100. I do have to say I've gained about 10 back. I lost 100. And I wasn't really in a good relationship with my brother. He was my first boots on the ground. He introduced me. There are so many of those things that I can tell you he changed. Well, and look, I got Mike out of this.
That's
So
big
many other things.
for us. But Tina Pantoli's got a good one. Do you think Forrest will let the finder bring his ashes to a special place, assuming the finder survives Forrest?
Oh.
But a bigger question is, would Forrest tell his family the location now? I mean, Shiloh, it's like, it's over. It's done. Just tell me. And I
In
won't.
my opinion, no.
You don't think it will tell anybody? When he said he wouldn't tell anybody. But I mean, to me, his family's different. But would Forrest want his ashes to be at the special spot? Is that something that could be in his will or something?
Ooh, that could be a good
That's
question.
kind of interesting. Yeah. You know,
Here's one that I don't think he'll answer. This is the, there was something more to the story. Can you tell us what the story was? Oh, and here's another one. Wow. Yeah. So do you remember he said there's a way we could all know, but I'm not going to go there.
he was gone. Yeah.
I want to know that because then we could figure it out. Let's just say it was like truth serum. We've given it to him. He slipped it in his drink and now he has to tell us the truth.
It's only 33 days since the treasure was announced as found. So, I mean, there's still time to go by, and then maybe we will all know how Forrest says we all would have known. You know, time maybe has to go by for some legal things, maybe.
Forrest said he would not give up any information, but Doug Preston did not. He should tell us what the super secret hint was in your documentary. Oh, I'm emailing Douglas. He probably has me on block. And say, can you tell us now what you thought was this? Yeah.
We talked about that earlier. And I said, I think it's the word that's keen is in the poem, but William, shame on you.
Oh, see, I'm on Randy's question that's in Chinese. I'm like so far behind because we have 234 people in the room. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
The unanswered questions. And just to remind everybody, there's a brand new treasure hunt in Indiana we're going to briefly talk about. I'm going to do its own video because I think it's that important, but I'm going to tell you guys what the prize is. It's pretty cool. And I'm going to give the solution to the grand adventure that I put out earlier this week. Go ahead.
And Courtney said, is Peggy okay? Yes. I believe Peggy is not, I mean, she's age appropriate. She's been struggling for a while, but I don't think she is sick right now. I think some people took his quote from the Arizona response to say that Peggy is, over ill or whatever. I don't think she's any more ill than she has been in the last little while. We know that Forrest was not traveling overnight away from her because of her health. So I don't think it is an all of a sudden different thing. I think it is, that's my opinion. So do I think she is well for her age and her, situation? Yes. Do I think that she, has caught pneumonia or whatever? No, I do not. So.
Sean Herman says, just a heads up, but I'm happy to design a plaque if you want to get it molded or cast. So Sean, email me, okay? Cowlazars@gmail.com if that was a series.
We've got something happening here.
This makes sense. A good idea. Maybe Forrest would even weigh in. Forrest, if we did a plaque, is there a place where you would want to put it or would want it to be put? You probably can't be involved maybe, but is there somewhere, I'm not talking about the location, I'm talking about somewhere else. I don't know. Is there up in Yellowstone, right outside the park, to give a big to the Rangers? Just kidding.
Or maybe at center of the. What about at Earthquake Lake Visitor Center, where he's a donor, or where at Center of the West, where he's an emeritus?
Yep.
All of those could be.
The Cody Museum, exactly. The medicine wheel. I don't know.
Or hey, we can put the plaque at the final location. All he has to do is tell me. It'll be secretly recorded, and it'll be out to the whole community in 3.2 seconds. Okay.
Plaque, I believe, is a really good idea. Let's come together, community as a community, and make that happen. But we'll see. It's only a million details we'd have to work out, right?
It's so Outcast Searcher asked an interesting question. Am I the only one that doesn't care about the story? This was a fun hunt, but I never had an attachment to Forrest at all. It was nice that he created for Forrest, but that's all. I think, interesting question. I actually don't want to know the story because of Forrest. I believe the story is something epic, like Sitting Bull Peace Pipe, something that has huge historical meaning. And that's the reason that I want to know the story. That's my opinion. I don't know it. It could be Forrest history. And I would find that interesting, but I actually just think there is something so huge in this story because that's what he does. He does things huge. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Oh, okay. Sean Herman, that would be great. kpro Blind Canyon. I don't know what that means. Asked Fenn if he knew the chase would end since 2018, but he kept it going because he had to wait for the finder to go boots on the ground. That's interesting too. But we know some people have been 200 feet close, so that would be interesting. How is Cynthia? So since she posted it on her Facebook page today, Cynthia is closing on a home in Las Vegas. She has been moving. And anybody that knows, she's sold her home in New Mexico. She has bought a home in Vegas. She is getting stuff back and forth. She, I think, posted it today. Sorry, Cynthia. I think it's okay to say she's in Vegas right now. And so that's the reason you haven't seen a lot of her. And it's actually probably a really good thing. She was so dedicated to the hunt that all this happened at the same time, I think has really kind of filled her head. Yeah.
But coming soon, Cynthia will in fact be at the command center at one of these shows. I'll make that happen.
Okay. His family's old land in Texas would be cheap and easy to turn into a park. That's an interesting one too. Oh, there's a project of brewing here.
Chasing Indy another time, definitely for another time for sure.
Lucky says, I want to know the story too. I do too. I just do. Okay. I will say I am traveling right now for some work things that are going on. I am just traveling right now, temporarily due to work. So that's all I have to say about that. But am I in a little bit different of an area? Yes. I had a situation happen with my house. You guys know my landlord situation has been challenging. We're no longer in that home and we're figuring out kind of our next steps. So thank you for those concerned. But those of you that think I've moved, I have moved to a different spot in Raleigh, and we are in Cary, but we are traveling right now as well. So we have a complicated life, but I thank everybody for worrying about me and my kiddos. My kiddos are doing really good, but they've had a lot going on.
Gibson says, who is Forrest Fenn's favorite author? What literary character does he most identify with? So that'd be interesting if he has a favorite author.
Okay, so let's start talking about scrapbooks, and I want to know what meaning the scrapbooks had. Was there any particular scrapbook that was for particular people?
He tried to communicate to people through the scrapbooks.
Yeah. How many people that he knew of were within 200 feet, 100 feet, 50 feet? Is there anyone that you thought was absolutely going to find it, like kind of like a feeling time, and that they didn't?
And I would just say this, just because the thrill of the chase is over, it doesn't mean the scrapbooks have to stop, right? Like Dale was like, I'm shutting down the blog, but Forrest, why don't you keep making scrapbooks? It doesn't have to be thrill of the chase related. Just give us a daily, whatever you want to put out. You know what I mean? He's got a million stories from Yellowstone and the military and everything else. You could keep doing scrapbooks, even though the treasure chest has been found. I kind of thought of that when Dale came out and said, now Dale did say, if Forrest sends me something, I'll post it. Didn't he say that?
Yes.
So everybody in the world would assume it's to the finder. It's all these double meanings, but no, just keep telling your stories like you always have, in my opinion.
Well, here's my opinion about a lot of people are like, Dale must be really upset, or he's jumping ship, he's shutting down. I have to tell you, moderation on Thor, thehintofriches.com, has been more challenging in the last month than it has the entire time I've had the site running, which has been almost, I think, over 2 years. I can see why he shut down all the other areas except for just the one. There are so many trolls out right now. There's so much negative. It's so hard to manage. And if you know about moderation, I have been on Thor where I've been gone during the day for a day. By the time I get to it, it's blown up because people respond and they have responses and it blows up. You really have to moderate very, like almost instant time right now. So I totally get where he's like, the site's still going to be here, guys, but you can go and comment elsewhere because moderation is just a challenge. Sam liked my scrapbook question. Forrest may have used scrapbooks to respond to an email sent to him. Andy, I would like to know that. Is that an avenue he did? And remember with weekly words and surprise words and these words and those words, what was the, what?
I'd like to know how many people were close. And when they're close, 25 miles, 25-mile radius that Forrest knows of. Oh, so-and-so said they were, even within 100 miles, within the 4 states, 100 miles would be pretty close. Unless, of course, the treasure chest is at one of the popular search theory locations, But if it's not, how many people were close? I mean, how many? It doesn't have to say who, but how many?
And yeah, I like that one. You're muted, Mike.
The other question I would have for Forrest is just, is he satisfied with how it ended? Just a simple, yeah, I am. Or maybe he's not. Was he satisfied with how the finder contacted him? Is he satisfied with how he was able to see the contents? Is he just satisfied with how it ended? I would wonder what his thoughts are.
Right. And somebody asked me this, and I think I assumed incorrectly. Does he still have the bracelet? He tried it on.
Yeah.
Does he still have it? That's a question.
Yeah. Does he wear it? Is he wearing it now? Is he going to have it cleaned because it went dark? Is he going to get it cleaned up and wear it?
Well, does he have it? I mean, if he can't clean it,
take it back. Yeah, that's
right. We should convince Fenn to do a Zoom and raise money for a new hunt. I think he is out of the treasure hunting business. I think he's had so much negative, and that's some of the stuff we didn't show. He talked so much about the negative and how surprised he was how negative people are in life. Like, people thought his treasure hunt was a hoax. He's like, but then they won't stop hunting for it. Like, just go on, go find happiness. And people didn't want to. I think he was very surprised by that. Okay. Okay, question about chaos and embroidery. Were they two searchers that solved the poem close enough, or it's kind of like the toe-to-toe thing? Did those dolls mean anything? That is a great question.
That's right.
Everything in moderation, including moderation. Yeah, it's just been tough, moderation in general. And Holy, I know you are moderator of all moderators right now, because you are, you're moderating all of these different ones, and it's
Diana
tough.
W. Hey, Diana. She says, did he buy the treasure back? That's interesting. Did he buy it back? Does he know if the finder plans on selling any of it at some point? I mean, there's a whole bunch of questions, but
yeah. And a bunch of stuff retracted. I can only imagine. Okay, what else do we want to know? Does he feel he accomplished his goal to not be a nobody as far as Google searches and notoriety goes? Yeah, like his father never had a name. You can't take away the name. Oh, remember where he said there's one thing that we're all missing? I want to know what that is.
Right. What's the searcher using logic to determine an important possibility? What is that? What do you think we should be able to determine?
Yeah. Okay. Here's another question. I'm going to ask you guys. If you found out it was a particular state, and I'm going to throw out the one that I think is the long shot. If you found out that it is in Colorado, but he won't give you a solve, what question would you have for him if it was in Colorado? So he just comes out and says, everybody, I need to give a state out, and you get one question. It's in Colorado. What would you ask him? Okay. Oh, not for his hunt, for your hunt. Oh, okay. Yeah, Forrest, would you like to help us fundraise for our hunt?
Yeah. First, we will give it away in a treasure hunt.
Did he buy the treasure back? Yeah, that's a good question. Does Forrest think... Oh, William, I love you. I almost get the question out, and then I realize it's you. Okay, great show topic. Okay, this is from Fergus T. Longacre. Great show topic. I'd like to know Forrest's favorite illustration. I would also be interested to know if anyone besides the finder identified the correct blaze.
And I would be interested to know if anybody and that may be his question. Did anybody figure out what the blaze was? They may have not have found the right one, but by reading the book, did people figure out what the blaze was or is, what they were looking for? And that blaze is still there, right? The blaze is still there.
Well, there's a billion of them. So what if he said it's a if you got one question, even though I think if we got a long list of them, that'd be one thing. If you got one question, if he turned and said, okay, it's a juniper bush. It's
yeah,
a
what
rock.
was the blaze? That would be a huge one. It wouldn't give anything away. What was the
Right.
blaze? That's it. Just tell us what.
Well, here's one question that I always regretted not asking during the documentary. Is your WWWH as special as your final spot? I don't know why I didn't ask that. I don't know. Can you dip your toe in it? For the people that thinks he was just messing with me.
All right, everybody. We are 45 minutes in.
What happened there? Wait, let me get the rest of the chat room.
Treasure hunt coming out, everybody. We'll have the details in a minute.
What was so significant special about the place? Were any of the scrapbooks secretly targeted to a specific searcher? Ooh, gosh, Susie. If in Colorado, I would want to know certain if WWWH is a man-made location. Okay.
Ignore this with the super chat. They did a super sticker, so thank you. We appreciate the super chat.
Number one fan. Okay.
Thumbs up the video.
Yes, please thumbs up the video because we know we'll have several thumbs down, so we want to offset those. But we appreciate them all because we monetize on all of them. So thumbs down, people. Thank you, and you, and you.
You know what's funny? World Famous Gamer says, "Hey Forrest, can you give us one of the 9 geographical coordinates?" What if Forrest just gave us where warm waters halt? Said, "This is it on the map. This is where warm waters halt," and then it's up to us to figure out the rest. Like, see if you can figure it out. That would be awesome if he actually verifiably, this is where warm waters halt. This is what it is, and this is where it is on the map. And then we would have to figure out. We go there. I mean, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's where the plaque should go, where warm waters halt.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, I hope someone asked him if anagrams were involved in the solution so we can put that baby to bed. I agree, because I think he said like pound ciphers, codes. He never used the word anagrams. And so I agree with you. That was a big controversy.
And a butterfly is really a flutterfly. So that is an anagram. So, well, I mean, maybe not. I don't know. But could a searcher have done that too? Yeah, go ahead, Gabriel.
No, I was just reading the chat. I think we were reading the same one. So, okay. So I would like to know if there was anything in the other 2 books by way of hints. I think he would say no, just because of what he said about the Arizona lawsuit where he didn't make any money off TTOTC. And that was a big piece of whatever response. Or
could we? Go ahead.
Loki, any updates on the documentary release? No, it's taking kind of a different direction, as you guys know. I actually haven't been able to tag up with the documentarian, but we got a couple of new interviews. I haven't even talked to you about this, Mike. A couple of new interviews that are gonna, you know what? You didn't talk to me either about a few things. I'll just say, I had, of all people, Toby call me the other night, and he's like, "I'm sure Mike already talked to you about this," and then brought it up and said, "What do you think about this and that?" And I'm like, "Mike who? Mike didn't mention any of this to me."
Been busy. Mr. Clue, Dolos. I came in 4th on Dolos's little labyrinth contest, by the way. That night I was on it and somebody beat me to it. That was really cool.
Yeah, so do not think, even if you send something to Mike or call Mike and say, make sure to tell kpro, don't think he does it. It's funny how little outside of here, the Forrest Found Hunt, or like we talk about some of this stuff. We're terrible. We're terrible. Terrible. Actually, we just have
clothes on.
Yeah, I don't think.
Before we go any further, I think we need to do this because we're about to enter the treasure hunting amusement park.
It's open when it's light, it's open when it's dark. It's the treasure hunt amusement park. Masquerade and Forrest Found are closed, but there are plenty more rides than just those. There's Beacon Star and Treasure Man, Vegas Die and Oak Island. Give 'em a try and you'll be smiling. This place never closes, that's for certain. There's always a reason to keep searching. Boots on the ground, look, look, look. Your ticket to the ride is the book. The dream of the treasure is the hook. The dream of the treasure is the hook. Keep searching forever, start searching now. Grand adventures with kpro and Cow. The secret, a gypsy's kiss, the whistle pig. Come watch our show, win a prize, little or big. This place never closes, that's for certain. There's always a reason to keep searching. Boots on the ground, look, look, look. Your ticket to the ride is the book. The dream of the treasure is the hook. The dream of the treasure is the hook.
Okay, there that was, everybody. The treasure hunting amusement park is open. We had a grand adventure. I look at that as one of the attractions. So if you guys have seen it, I'll give the solution here at the end. And then Mr. Clue says, has this song been nominated for a Grammy yet? Not yet. We have to do one with your treasure hunt in it, Mr. Clue, for sure.
Well, you know what? Somebody asked me, you guys are so into Mr. Clue. Why didn't you include him? This was in works before we knew about Mr. Clue. And so it is funny because how quickly things have changed so quickly in the amusement park. We have shut down and opened and all of that.
Yeah, Dolos and Mr. Clue, both of them are fun hunts, and we've been into it, but
Yeah.
this was already planned.
So we did not include anybody. We just and also we did send the person that is not Mike singing, the guy that we send all this to. We actually included a lot more. So if your name did not rhyme with one of the others, that might have been a reason it didn't get included. So anyway,
all right, everybody, here we go. It is in fact breaking news because it's a old treasure hunt, but it's probably new to all of us. This treasure hunt's been going on for 10 years. 10 years and nobody has found it, everybody. First thing I'm going to tell you, and this is breaking news. The prize for this treasure hunt, sorry, that was an accident. The prize, we got applause for a prize. The prize for this treasure hunt is not 10, not 11, but 12 troy pounds of silver. Not ounces, everybody, pounds. 12 pounds of silver. Yeah. And the other thing is, Bart, if you're watching this, I'm actually going to do a separate video on this treasure hunt because I think it's awesome and I think it's important. So I will do a separate video just for this treasure hunt. I just want to get the news out on it right now. What's cool about this hunt, this treasure hunt, is we know where it is. This hunt actually takes place in Washington County, Indiana. Do we have anybody from the chat in Indiana or Louisville or West Virginia? AJ, how close are you to Washington County, Indiana? So you do have to purchase this treasure hunt. This guy, this idea he had was to do a treasure hunt, and it's a local hunt, Washington County, Indiana. It kind of uses it uses landmarks in Washington County. It reminds me of the Beacon Star a little bit. You've got to find certain plaques. And this came out 10 years ago, Randy, so it's not like he copied yours. This came out over 10 years ago. And back then the prize was gold, but because it wasn't found within whatever the time frame was, he donated that gold to, I think it was a Boys and Girls Club. I'm going to actually have the full story when I do the video on it. But every year there's a Facebook group, and I'm going to give you guys a Facebook group. You should go check that page out. It's got all the details. But he updated this Facebook page every year, and he also took an ad out in the newspaper of Washington County, Indiana, on the anniversary once a year. And so far, nobody has been able to figure this thing out. So 12 pounds of silver, if I'm doing my math right, is like $3,000, I believe. So somebody can figure that out and put it in the chat. But pretty awesome. The Facebook page is called The Hunt for History. Let me bring it up here. The Hunt for History is somewhere. Give me a second. You should have sent it back to me, Bart. All right, hang on, guys. I'll find it. But again, if you were around Indiana, then this would be a perfect one to work on. There it is. I'm going to show it right now, everybody. This is the Facebook page. It's called The Hunt for History, a treasure hunt of skill and intellect to benefit local civic organizations. When you pay, you can have two options. You can pay for this treasure map. Well, you have to buy the treasure map to find it. But he also has this handbook. The handbook gives you and explains how to do the different ciphers that are used on the treasure map. So this is kind of for a code breaker, Charlie. This is the kids group or whatever the group was that he gave the gold to. You guys can read all about it, but it's called The Hunt for History, A treasure hunt of skill and intellect. And I'm going to take this link and I'm going to put it in the chat. But again, I want to do a video just for this hunt because guess what, everybody? He sent me the treasure hunt and I'm about to show it to you right now. I haven't really had time to sit down and really look at it yet. But this handbook alone is awesome. Check this out. In the handbook, he goes over all the different types of ciphers. And basically, this will help you. The four square cipher, the columnar cipher, the checkerboard cipher. These are all the ciphers he used in this book. So it's very cipher. I know you're out, kpro. It's very cipher specific. But this book will tell you how to solve this map. And again, these two, he's selling both of these items. You don't have to buy the book, but you do have to buy the map. And check out how big this thing is. This is a true pirate map. And even if you buy this just to hang this on your wall, look at this thing. Is that upside down? That's one side. That's the other side. So all the terms and conditions are on here in the middle right here. All this is the different poems that you have to solve in order to figure this thing out. So again, the hunt for history, Washington County, Indiana. I'm going to do a show just on this so you guys get an idea about what?
Rooster Cogborn said bars in Vegas just ordered to close again. Breaking news.
Yeah, I know the governor is live in Las Vegas, so it's probably because it's spiked. We're probably going to be shutting down Vegas again, would be my guess. So why not work on a treasure hunt while you're stuck at home? So you guys, I put the link to the Facebook group. You guys can find all the info there. Chasing Indy says, how did you ever skip the world's greatest treasure hunt? But was it not based in the U.S.? Is it one of those that's over in the U.K.? That might, I didn't really get into those because they're over in the U.K. But you're right. We probably should talk about it. Yeah. So yeah, that is the link. Let me make sure I put that out there. I'm going to put it in there one more time. All right. And then real quick.
Well, so here's a question I have for Tina. Let me go back to Forrest Found for a second. She said Dale received an email from a shy guy back east to not shut down his blog until August 4th. Dale believed it. If Dale believed it, if he was on Flipside for 2 hours the other night, he didn't even mention this at all. He only mentioned it to Josh Gates and has not mentioned it since. And this came before he decided to shut down the blog. I just think they used a clip, one of many, many. That's my opinion.
Into that myself, but hey, that's just me.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say real quick before we get off, I was going to go over the Grand Adventure. So anything else you want to?
No, Eleanor is asking, Dolos, is anybody working on that? Yeah.
Enigma of Dolos is a good one. I've heard people say they're figuring out the poem. People are figuring out the cipher. We just have to put those two things together. That's $1,500. All right.
Yep. Yeah, and I do have to say there's lots of people, and they're up on Thor too. They're saying this is when I'm going to announce. We're over 30. Nobody gets a number anymore. So we're over 30, and yeah. Yeah. So Mike, do we want to talk about this?
Yeah, go ahead. That's all you. Hang on. That's up to you. Go ahead.
So as I told you, I've been doing a little bit of traveling. And so I spent the day in Santa Fe, I don't know, a few days ago. And I decided to buy a book because I have so many. I think I have every single printing because I did a comparison copy of those once upon a time. See what I did there? Once upon a while, once upon a time. And I spent the day in Santa Fe and I got my last TTOTC, I think probably ever, unless there's like a new version of it that comes out. It was a really bad situation in Santa Fe. So first, the thing that you need to know is if you buy one of these books to go and pick, you cannot just go and browse the bookstore. You actually have to order beforehand. You're supposed to go to a certain door. I went to the main door and I wasn't supposed to, and I got a little bit of a talking to. You have to have your mask in New Mexico. You have to have your mask. You can actually be arrested if you don't have a mask in a public location, which I find very interesting. I parked in, so the sign said 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 15-minute parking. That's where I parked. I had kids and animals in my car. So I just ran in, I ran back out, and there was a police officer. And the police officer said, "Did you read the sign?" And I said, yes, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 15 minutes. I wasn't here more than 2. And he said, keep reading. He was very grumpy. And I kept reading. It said, parking by permit only. And I said, I am so sorry. I said, I didn't read the whole thing. I was only here 2 minutes. And I have dogs and cats and kids. And he goes, do you have a permit for that dog? And I said, permit? This is my dog. And he said, you need one in Santa Fe.
Should have said you knew Forrest Found. I don't know.
I was like, wah, wah, wah. And I said, there is no way. I have an older dog. I have never gotten more than a parking ticket in my life. I was like, yeah, fined, not arrested. Yeah. I actually got out. I just looked at him and said, I am so sorry. And he's like, leave before I change my mind. I'm like, thank you, sir. And we left. But okay, long story short. So that was it was rough. And there's some more to the story that I won't tell, but oh my gosh. I got my TTOTC book, the very last one.
Not the last one for sale, to be clear.
No, the very last one that I don't see buying another one, but I got the last one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And there it is. Is anybody else buying them? Because they're still on.
Crying always works. Tina, I was very close. I actually said, I don't even know what I would do. If they tried to take my dog, it wouldn't, I don't know what I would have done. Yeah. Oh, don't.
I was going to make a joke and I thought better of it.
Yeah. Well, okay. It's a good thing you didn't tell him that you're from out of town. Yeah, that was another one. He's like, are you traveling through? I'm like, yep. And we're not stopping. And it's kind of interesting because you are supposed to quarantine for 14 days. If you're like, I only stayed, I don't remember where I stayed in New Mexico, but I stayed and kept going. So that was actually okay. I stayed we hit 9 states in the last however many weeks. And I can tell you, New Mexico was the roughest. I abide by all you have to wear this and that. They were just really negative. And for a tourist town like Santa Fe, everybody I ran into was negative, and really, really tense. And it was really tough. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you are muted.
Get out of here. You ready?
Yeah, whatever you wanted to do. I didn't hear it because you were muted. But
No, I said let's do the Grand Adventure.
let's do the Grand Adventure.
Big shout out to William. William just bought 2 Chaseopolies and said, give them away. So there'll be another Grand Adventure.
Oh, you know what? I'm doing one because several people said, I looked at your board and went, what the hell is this? I'm going to do one and it's going to make so much sense. And it's going to take longer than 2 hours. What the hell is this?
This was on a little channel called Cowlazars. You guys may know about it. And right here, you should be subscribed. It got 598 views. That's not bad. I put it out on my birthday at exactly 8 p.m., which was Tuesday. So in 2 days, it's got 600 views. But anyway, it was solved about 2 hours after it came out.
What?
First off, I know there's a lot going here. You see all this and you just think, I don't even know what to do. And some people are like, I didn't have a clue. So first thing on the board is what's important. Don't worry about the beads and these marbles and this dice on the side. The only thing that matters,
red herrings. Sorry.
not so much red herrings, but I would say just a lot going on. The dice, these dice right here, the 20-sided dice are what the hint was on how to solve it. Not the dice that the D&D minis are standing on, because you can see there's only 1, 2, 1, 3, and whatever that number is. These dice here have different numbers on them. And if you zoom in, as I played this video, I zoomed in on everything so you could see it clearly. Okay. So
not the dice that you just zoomed in at.
Right, this right here.
Oh, red herrings everywhere.
No, not red herring. So you can see as it zooms out, this is a number 8. What's the 8th letter of the alphabet, kpro?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H.
H. So if you go through each of those 20-sided dice, which are in the 4 corners, right there is 16, and I'm not going to ask you to do that. But if you went through those dice, here's 14, and there is 15. It's spelled P-H-O-N-E. What's P-H-O-N-E spell, kpro?
Call Mike on the phone.
Yeah, right. It's a phone number. No, it's not a phone number. It's spelled phone, these 5 dice right here. And that was your hint. Now, even if you don't know, there is such a thing as a phone cipher where you use a keypad.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry.
You could probably figure it out, because the other thing you see is that there's white and black beads that are in some kind of a pattern, a square. And if you look, how many squares are inside each one of these? Stop. Stop. What is the thing that's the same between these? And that is there's 9 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What I did was I made a bunch of 9 by 9 squares. 1, 2, 3, and the D&D minis are in each one. 1, 2, 3, and then there's one down here. So there are a total of 7. What you were looking for was a 7-letter word, which was the password to the Vimeo. If you guys know how a phone cipher works, each one of these squares would represent the number on a keypad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The number 3 on a keypad, and I'll bring it up on mine right now.
Well, someone says better be a D&D link besides the dice. Can you say whether there is?
No, there's no D&D link other than the minis are D&D. No, it doesn't have to be in D&D related. Also, these big miniatures in the corners didn't have anything to do with it. All it was
Oh my
was
God,
these
red
dice
herrings.
in the middle. So if you look at a phone, the number 2 on a phone has got letters A, B, C. So let me do this. Because this guy right here was in the 3rd position on the phone on the 9 by 9 grid, you know that it's number 3, and the number 3 has D, E, F, and the die below it was which letter out of D, E, F. So this was a D. So the first letter was a D. And you would just go through and spell it out. It's that easy. Isn't that simple? Right here is also the number 3 on the phone, but this is the 2nd letter, which was an E. So the password was D and then E, and then you would go through. The only thing that may have threw
Dola says, stop, Mike, you're giving my cipher away.
the only thing that may have threw people off is that the name was Dejeric. And a lot of people probably saw Dejeric and was like, what does that mean? Dejeric, for those of you who don't know, was actually the name of the chess game in Star Wars that Chewbacca and C-3PO played. So people call it holo chess, but the actual name of that game that had the claymation monsters that killed each other, remember the original Star Wars Millennium Falcon? Dejeric, Dejejarik, 7 letters, Dejeric. That's the name of that game. The only thing that may have tripped people up is it was capital D. In the Vimeo password, you had to put capital D, Dejarik. And in the Grand Adventure on Facebook, Cowlazars and kpro's Grand Adventure, I had a picture of Chewbacca and Han Solo in the Millennium Falcon for about a week before this puzzle ever came out. So there was a little tiny hint that it had something to do with Star Wars. See what I did there? I said D&D, but I went the other way. It was really Star Wars. At least.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Okay.
Okay.
How hard is that on a 1 to 10, kpro? Now
There's no such thing as hard when you live on a different planet. Like Indy said, your man is so nerdy, it's adorable. I have no idea how to even start that. Oh, you would just know the phone cipher. What? And then, there's no way. And that other people got it within 2 hours. There are people like you in this world. I'm not one of them. My brain and your brain, we're almost different species. I mean, I cannot believe this.
well, all I can say.
Don't be a player hater.
That's all I can say is don't be a player.
You know what?
You should have got the numbers on the dice were phone, and you could have figured it out. I think it was solvable. Once you realize phone has something to do with it, you look at your phone and you go, oh, 9 by 9 grid on the Go board. There's a 9 by 9 grid. There's something marked in each location.
Yeah.
But again, these are just for fun. They're absolutely free. The winner got a Chaseopoly. I'm going to do more. So make sure you.
No, I want to do the next one.
kpro's doing the next one. Go subscribe to Hint of.
Okay.
Randy saying it's D&D and using Star Wars as a red herring. I use D&D minis. That's all. Some people are like, do I have to know D&D rules or anything? I'm like, no. Everything you need is on the board. You would just have to figure out the word phone. You might have to look at a phone or look up a keypad online to see what the letters were on the phone.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put together something simple like Mike just did in my brain. And then I'm going to have you guys try to solve it. I'm sure it'll be solved within an hour. And then just tell me which one, after I explain mine, which one made more sense to you or you enjoyed most. Because Mike and I are putting a hunt together and it's going to be both of us. Okay.
Right. So how many people knew before I said it? How many people knew that Dejeric was the name of the chess game in the original Star Wars? How many Star Wars nerds do we have out here? How many people knew it was Dejeric? Now, I guess you could say the answer had to be D&D related because you said it was going to be a D&D hunt. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. But that's why we're doing these little mini hunts to go through these things and get the feedback for our big hunt that we're going to do. So,
Yeah. Yeah, so that little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll, somebody said. Exactly. That's like Mike and I. He's like rapper, I'm like country girl. Our brains are different because he's totally into the cipher stuff. I'm totally into like the imagination and I think logic. So I'm going to come up to something totally different and we're going to, oh, the Sassy. I would have loved to know. Sassy, you need to rewind this by 5 minutes. And
Yeah.
I want her, she's probably the solver. But yeah.
Somebody said how much earlier, and I think they mean the Chaseopleys. Chaseopleys are still for sale. They're $29.99. It's either $15 or $20 to ship, depending where you are in the country. Just email me, chaseopley@gmail.com. Thank you for the 2 people who have ordered in the last 2 days. Those will go to the mail tomorrow, along with the winner of the latest grand adventure. Dolos says, I like that cipher. There you go, Dolos. It's kind of easy. I mean, I had a lot going on, which was distraction. Oh, there's this.
Because I saw Dolos.
I marked them. There was a number to know what position of the letter. That's it. That easy. And it was in order. I could have put it out of order. Could have been an anagram or something crazy, but I didn't do any of that.
And you speak Dolos. When you saw the 3 keys, I looked at that Dolos. No offense to you. I went, I mean, it's not me. But that doesn't mean I don't enjoy. I go on the Beacon Star Zooms every once in a while just to listen to you guys. I love that it happens. I just can't do it. My brain doesn't work that way. And so like, I actually think Mike should do a Zoom on if you want to get to know ciphers and all that, and codes and he could do like an introduction.
This was pretty cool because this you can buy and it's got all the different ciphers in it. I'm going to use this for Randy's hunt. I'm going to go through it and just read up on each of the codes and be like, oh, maybe he used this, maybe he used that. We're not selling backpacks. Was that the backpack you were looking for? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. All right. So when we go to the park, you can wear that.
That was a birthday present. That was a birthday present for Mr. 7 years old. Okay. Let's talk about Zooms because some people were asking about lives and things.
And so, Zoom somebody brought up as well.
Yeah, I'm no longer doing Theodosia Zooms. I would be happy to loan the Zoom out to whoever wants to lead that. I've given away all of my hints and clues that I have gotten, and everything that I have is out there.
Indy says, kpro, do you want to go live after this on my channel and discuss a new hunt?
Oh, a new hunt. I don't. There's so much craziness. I have so much happening right now. I do need to talk with you, but I don't think I'll be able to go live. I might be able to, once things settle down. It's a little bit earlier here. I hate to say East Coast is very easy because everybody's all settled down and quiet. I mean, we didn't even get, I have not gotten dinner yet.
Yeah, we got to eat. Yeah, we were a little busy.
Mike has to eat.
HITA. I'm not sure what that is. Let's go HITA.
I don't know. Ciphers make my brain hurt. Yes. M3, honestly, yes.
We're all waiting for your part 2 to the Niamo spec cipher. I really liked your thought process in the first video. So make another video. We're all waiting for it.
Okay, but
you should be able to solve it.
So we have Beacon Star Zooms on which days?
Beacon Star Zoom is Tuesdays. Mr. Clue Zoom is going to be Wednesday, an hour before AGK goes live. I changed it, and I'll email everybody that's on the list.
Sassy goes, what in Indiana?
Yeah, Sassy, there's a new hunt in Indiana. Check it out. It's for 12 pounds of silver. That's like $3,000. So you need to check this out. I'm going to do a separate video just on that treasure hunt to get the word out. But in this chat a little bit further up, I put a link to the Facebook page. There's a Facebook page on how you can order the hunt, and he will mail this stuff right to your door, and you can do it. How far are you from Indiana, Sassy?
While we're waiting for that answer,
it's down to the county, Washington County in Indiana. Go ahead.
Are we ready to announce about the Facebook Live, or do we need a little bit more information first?
We can do that. Yeah, go ahead. And I'll actually look up that group.
Yeah, so there's somebody that owns a Facebook page that has decided not to continue it and has asked us if we wanted to kind of help moderate it, etc. It has like 25,000 treasure hunters on it. So we've decided we're going to go live to introduce ourselves, and we're going to basically do it. Mike kind of leads the Facebook. He allows a lot more stuff than I would allow, which I'm fine with because he is the expert when it comes to Facebook. We don't allow any personal attacks, but they allow some things to be discussed there. Oh my. And so we're going to start discussing all things treasure hunts there. We're going to do some Facebook Lives. We're going to continue all of our shows here, but just know, and Michael put that up. We are way over though. Maybe let's discuss that next time, Mike.
Yeah, but I'll just show it real quick. That's all.
Okay.
On Facebook, there's a group called Finding Fenn's Hidden Treasure. We're going to rename that group because the Forrest Fenn thing's over. Finding Fenn's Hidden Treasure. Actually, how about I put a link?
Ooh, that's
There's
a
a
good.
link in the chat. Everybody can go. And it's one of those pages that you just go and like, I believe. It's an actual page, not a group. Okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a live Facebook video. It could be on this treasure hunt. I don't know yet, but we're just only going to do it there on Facebook. We're going to start doing Facebook live videos. It will not be on YouTube. So everybody can go to that Facebook page and like it and all that. And I think you'll get notified when a video goes up. I'm not sure. I'm still learning Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any more friend clips you want to share since it is over? Yes, we do. We just need to get them and get them clipped and all of that. But yes, absolutely. Several people would like to do a ciphers Zoom, or maybe we do a show just on ciphers. And I mean,
Yeah.
Mike says most people know that there's a phone cipher. No, most people don't. Most people don't speak your language. Most people would like to know. And I asked, because I'm okay looking stupid, because you guys know I do all the time. I said to Mike and the group in Beacon Star, so how would you even start cracking that? Because I don't understand. Oh no, it was in the Mr. Clue Zoom with the 4x4. And you're like, oh, you go to this site and you put it in and it gives you all the different, I was like, wow, that was new information to me.
And we believe that Mr. Clue, that's do cipher, the bonus hint that's a cipher, we believe it's a Playfair. That's what I heard. It's not solved yet, but we believe it's a Playfair cipher, 5x5 grid. So
Playfair, because that's common knowledge what a Playfair is. I'm glad you said Playfair cipher, because I was like, play at the fair. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
trying to figure out what the key is.
Up. Hey, Mr. Man, that's mine. That's mine. Sorry, my dinner is getting eaten by a
Yeah.
little
All right, everybody, we got to go. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Check out that new treasure hunt. Hope you guys had fun with the latest grand adventure. There'll be more coming. Kpro is going to do one, and I'm going to hold her to it and
Yeah.
actually make her get it done. We'll be live on Monday with a new show. And yeah, we may even go live over the weekend. You just never know.
Yeah, put the link in for Sassy. She came in late, so she doesn't see the link. Can you put the link to that treasure hunt?
I don't have it. All right, hang on. Let me see.
Okay, if you can find it. And then do the song on the way out.
Hey, Sassy, you can just email me for the link. I can
Yeah.
give you that. All right. Let's the treasure hunting amusement park one more time. How easy.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the super chats. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Can we get to 4,000 subscribers, for God's sakes?
Good night, Forrest. We love you.
All right. We'll see you next time.
It's open when it's light, it's open when it's dark. It's the treasure hunt amusement park. Masquerade and Forrest Fenn are closed, but there are plenty more rides than just those. There's Beacon Star and Treasure Man, Vegas Die and Oak Island. Give them a try and you'll be smiling. This place never closes, that's for certain. There's always a reason to keep searching. Boots on the ground, look, look, look. Your ticket to the ride is the book. The dream of the treasure is the hook. The dream of the treasure is the hook. Keep searching forever, start searching now. Grand adventures with Kpro and Cow. The secret, a gypsy's kiss, the whistle pig. Come watch our show, win a prize, little or big. This place never closes, that's for certain. There's always a reason to keep searching. Boots on the ground, look, look, look. Your ticket to the ride is the book. The dream of the treasure is the hook. The dream of the treasure is the hook.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
We are out.